Ladies and gentlemen, belief is the birthplace of all achievement. Every great accomplishment known to humankind began in the invisible realm of thought, nurtured by unwavering faith in its possibility. The first key point in embracing a life of limitless potential is to adopt an unshakable belief that your vision can become your reality. This isn't a matter of wishful thinking or shallow optimism. It is a deep, almost defiant conviction that refuses to be shaken by circumstances, doubts, or the limitations imposed by others. It is a belief so strong that it bends the world to meet its expectations. Most people live their lives governed by what they see. They believe what their eyes confirm, what their bank accounts validate, or what their current situation suggests is possible. But those who achieve greatness are governed by a different standard. They don't look outward for confirmation, they look inward for truth. They do not wait for evidence, they create it through faith-fueled action. They understand that the visible is always preceded by the invisible. Before there was a skyscraper, there was a vision. Before there was a bestseller novel, there was a belief in the story. Before the business, the invention, the breakthrough, there was belief. This kind of belief is not blind, it's not naive, it doesn't ignore reality, it simply refuses to be defined by it. It says, yes, the odds are stacked, yes, the path is unclear, but I know what I've come to do and I know I can do it. It's a belief that builds momentum not from what has already happened, but from what will happen, because your will makes it so. The reason belief is so powerful is that it directly shapes your behavior. When you believe something is truly possible, you begin to act in accordance with that belief. You walk differently, you speak with more confidence, you make decisions that align with your goal rather than your fear. On the other hand, when belief is weak or absent, hesitation creeps in. You second-guess yourself. You retreat at the first sign of difficulty. In this way, belief acts as a thermostat for your entire life. Whatever you set it to, your actions will adjust accordingly. Think of belief like planting a seed in your mind. If the seed is planted with conviction, and you nurture it daily with attention, action, and imagination, it will grow. But plant that same seed with doubt, and the soil becomes poisoned. The seed may still sprout, but it will struggle. The roots won't take hold. It will be fragile and vulnerable. Your belief is the sunlight and the water. The more you feed it, the stronger and deeper it grows, until eventually it becomes unshakable. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing only when others validate them. They wait for support, for applause, for someone else to say, yes, you can. But belief is not something you borrow, it's something you build. And it often begins in solitude. There will be days when no one understands what you're doing. There will be moments when you'll have to defend your dream from the people closest to you. That's when your belief must be louder than their doubt. That's when your inner voice must say, even if no one sees it yet, I do. Even if it hasn't happened yet, it will. Some of the world's most extraordinary breakthroughs came, we teach, from people who believed long before the world did. Their belief allowed them to hold steady when the results were invisible. It gave them endurance when nothing else made sense. And that's the true test. Can you still believe when nothing around you supports that belief? Can you hold your vision in your mind so clearly that it becomes more real to you than your current environment? That's where the magic lies. That's where transformation happens, not just in your circumstances, but in you. Your belief also influences others. It becomes a beacon. When you carry a dream with fierce conviction, people feel it. They may not even understand it at first, but they sense your certainty. That certainty draws people to you. Investors, partners, mentors, supporters. Because people are naturally drawn to those who know where they're going. Your belief creates a gravitational pull. It gives others permission to believe as well. It's important to realize that belief is not a one-time decision. It's a daily discipline. You have to recommit to it every morning, especially when life throws setbacks your way. You have to feed your mind with thoughts that strengthen that belief through what you read, what you listen to, who you associate with. You have to protect your mental environment like a sacred space, because negativity, doubt, and fear are like weeds. If left unattended, they grow quickly and choke out your belief. There will be moments when the belief wavers. That's natural. Doubt will knock on the door, but don't let it move in. Acknowledge it, then return your focus to what you want to create. Speak your belief out loud. Visualize it, act in alignment. Be with it, even if it feels uncomfortable. Over time, your actions reinforce the belief, and the belief strengthens the actions. It's a cycle, a powerful one, that can build a life far beyond what logic or reason would allow. In essence, belief is the gateway. It is the bridge between imagination and reality. It is the force that takes a dream from a fleeting thought and transforms it into a lived experience. But you must choose it. You must nurture it. And most importantly, you must live as if it is already yours. Because when you learn to believe as if anything is possible, you stop waiting for permission and start shaping the world. You cease to react and begin to create. And in that space between belief and bold action, you discover that your life is not limited by what has been, but only by what you're willing to believe and be believed. Without action is like a fire without fuel. It may spark for a moment, but it will quickly fade. Once you have anchored yourself in unwavering belief, the next essential step is to translate that belief into deliberate and consistent action. This is where many people fall short. They believe in their dreams with passion, they speak their vision with enthusiasm, but they hesitate to move. They wait for the perfect time, the ideal conditions, or a guarantee of success. But belief only has power when it is paired with movement. Action is the proof of belief. Without it, belief is little more than a wish. When you truly believe that something is possible, your actions begin to reflect that certainty. You don't wait for validation or clarity. You create it. You don't ask whether it will work. You act as if it already is. You get up earlier. You stay up later. You study. You practice. You prepare. You take steps toward your goal every day, no matter how small, because the difference between a dreamer and a doer is motion. Belief makes the vision clear. Action brings it to life. There is a power that comes from moving forward with conviction, even when the outcome is uncertain. Action, when fueled by belief, creates momentum. That momentum begins to attract opportunities, resources, and relationships that otherwise would have stayed hidden. What once seemed unreachable begins to shift toward you. Doors open, conversations begin, energy builds. But none of this happens if you stay still. The universe responds to movement. It rewards those who show up again and again, even when the results are not immediate. Taking action doesn't always mean giant leaps. In fact, some of the most transformative progress comes through small, consistent steps taken day after day. The challenge is not whether you can run a marathon. It's whether you're willing to lace up your shoes every morning. It's not whether you can finish the book. It's whether you'll write the next paragraph. Those who succeed do not wait for motivation. They create it through motion. Every action, no matter how minor, reinforces your belief and brings your vision closer to reality. Fear often disguises itself as caution. It tells you to wait until you're ready, until you have more knowledge, more money, more support. But the truth is, readiness is rarely a feeling, it's a decision. Action itself creates readiness. Each time you move forward, you gain experience, perspective, and confidence. You begin to realize that the fear was never a signal to stop. It was a signal to grow. By acting in the face of fear, you stretch your limits and expand what's possible for you. Discipline is the bridge between belief and outcome. You may not always feel inspired, but you must remain committed. Discipline is showing up when it's hard, when you're tired, when you're discouraged. It's choosing to do what matters instead of what's easy. It's saying no to distractions and yes to your future. This kind of action is not driven by emotion. It is anchored in purpose. And when your actions are rooted in purpose, they become unstoppable. Another important truth is that not every action will produce immediate results. Sometimes you give everything you've got and see no visible progress. But that doesn't mean your efforts were wasted. Growth often happens beneath the surface. Seeds take time to break through the soil. Muscles grow while you rest. The results may not show today, but the momentum is building. Trust the process. Keep moving. The harvest always comes, but only to those who keep planting. Your actions also serve as a message to yourself and to the world that you are serious about your goal. You train your mind to expect results because you are doing the work to earn them. You build confidence not by speaking affirmations into the mirror, but by proving to yourself that you are capable, resilient, and disciplined. Each task completed, each challenge faced, each step taken, these are bricks laid on the path toward your vision. And over time, the path becomes a road, and the road becomes a reality. Taking action also attracts others to your mission. People are drawn to movement. They want to be part of something that is growing, something alive. When they see your consistency, your energy, and your effort, they begin to believe in your vision too. Leaders are not those who talk the most, they are those who move first. When you act with conviction, you give others permission to follow your lead. It's also crucial to understand that action is not about perfection, it's about progress. You will make mistakes, you will encounter setbacks, but every failure contains a lesson. Every detour builds resilience. Don't let the fear of doing it wrong stop you from doing it at all. The only true failure is inaction. Mistakes can be corrected. Missed opportunities can be reclaimed, but time spent in paralysis cannot be reclaimed. But time spent in paralysis cannot be reclaimed. Move forward, learn as you go, trust that the path will become clearer with each step you take. Sometimes the biggest obstacle to action is the belief that it has to be grand. But monumental success is the result of thousands of small, invisible actions. The practice no one saw, the extra hour no one asked for, the call you didn't feel like making, the uncomfortable truth you dared to face. These are the quiet acts that build greatness. Don't wait for a spotlight. Your real growth happens behind the scenes. You must also act as if success is certain. This doesn't mean pretending or faking. It means aligning your behavior with your desired outcome. If you knew success was guaranteed, how would you act today? Would you hesitate or would you prepare? Would you play small or would you go all in? Adopt that mindset now. Take those actions now, because acting as if sends a powerful message to your subconscious. This is who I am, and this is what I do. Eventually, your actions begin to rewire your identity. You no longer have to convince yourself that you are capable. You know it because your actions have proved it. You're no longer chasing a dream, you're building it. The process itself transforms you. You become stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. That is the hidden gift of action. It not only changes your life externally, it elevates who you are internally. So don't just believe in the life you want, move toward it. Take bold, consistent, disciplined action, even when the path is foggy and the obstacles are real. Let every step be a declaration that your belief is alive and working. Let your effort be your testimony. And know this, when belief and action walk together, setbacks, failures, and delays are often seen as signs that we are off course, that we are being tested in ways we cannot overcome. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned. Many people are quick to give up when they encounter obstacles, believing that these challenges are signs they are not meant to succeed. However, those who reach extraordinary heights in life understand that setbacks are not the end of the journey, they are simply part of the process. In fact, they are often the very catalysts that propel us toward even greater success. Every failure contains a lesson, every delay an opportunity to refine our approach, and every setback is a test of resilience. How we respond to these challenges determines not just the outcome of our goals, but the strength of our character and the depth of our conviction. success was impossible. But those who achieve greatness understand that these obstacles do not define the journey. They are merely stepping stones. The key is not to let setbacks define your story. Instead, they should be viewed as temporary conditions that will eventually give way to progress. It's important to recognize that the discomfort caused by setbacks is often what leads to growth. When things are easy, we don't push ourselves to learn, to adapt, or to innovate. But when we are faced with difficulties, we are forced to become more creative, more resourceful, and more determined. Setbacks provide the resistance necessary to build strength. Just as muscles grow stronger when they are stressed through exercise, our minds and spirits become more resilient when we face challenges head-on. Every setback is an invitation to grow stronger, to stretch beyond what we thought was possible, and to evolve in ways that we could never have anticipated. Moreover, delays often offer valuable opportunities for reflection. In the rush to achieve our goals, it's easy to overlook important details or to miss out on opportunities that could make our journey smoother. Delays can force us to slow down and reassess our plans. Perhaps there's a better way to achieve our objective. Perhaps there's a new strategy or approach we haven't considered. Sometimes setbacks lead us to realize that our original plans were not as effective or efficient as we thought. This reassessment process allows us to pivot when necessary, making us more adaptable and better prepared for future challenges. It's also crucial to understand that setbacks are not personal. Often when things don't go our way, we internalize the failure, believing that it reflects some deficiency in ourselves. We begin to doubt our abilities, our worth, and our chances of success. This is a natural human response, but it is a destructive one. Setbacks are not a reflection of your value as a person. They are a natural part of pursuing any meaningful goal. It's essential to separate your sense of self-worth from the obstacles you encounter. You are not defined by the challenges you face. You are defined by how you respond to them. One of the most powerful ways to overcome setbacks is to maintain a sense of perspective. When we are in the middle of a difficult situation, it can feel all-encompassing. We may feel as though the entire world is against us or that our goal is forever out of reach. But in these moments, it's important to zoom out and remember that setbacks are temporary. The difficulties we face today may seem insurmountable, but in the grand scheme of our lives, they are just small hurdles. When you look back on this moment from the future, it's likely that you'll realize that the obstacle was not as significant as it felt at the time. Keeping this broader perspective can help reduce anxiety and maintain a sense of calm and clarity during times of hardship. It's also helpful to remember that every successful person you admire has faced their own struggles and setbacks. They didn't succeed in spite of their challenges. They succeeded because of them. Each failure taught them something valuable, and each setback pushed them to refine their methods and strategies. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who give up is how they respond to adversity. The successful individual doesn't view a setback as a roadblock. They see it as an opportunity to reassess, to grow, and to improve. Another crucial element to overcoming setbacks is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after failure, to maintain your energy and enthusiasm in the face of difficulty. It is a mindset, a way of thinking and responding that allows you to stay focused on your goals even when the going gets tough. Resilient individuals don't give up after a single failure. They learn from it, adapt, and keep moving forward. This is a skill that can be developed over time. It requires practice, patience, and a commitment to maintaining hope and faith even in the darkest moments. In addition to resilience, persistence plays a critical role in overcoming setbacks. Persistence is the ability to keep going even when progress is slow or non-existent. It's the willingness to show up every day, to continue working toward your goals even when the results are not immediately visible. Many people give up too soon, believing that if they haven't succeeded by a certain point, they never will. But persistence is the key to long-term success. It's the commitment to continue even when the road is long and the outcome uncertain. As success often comes to those who simply refuse to quit. Finally, it's important to surround yourself with a supportive community when facing setbacks. We are not meant to navigate challenges alone. Whether through friends, family, mentors, or colleagues, a strong support system can provide encouragement, advice, and perspective when things get tough. They can remind you of your strengths and help you see the bigger picture when it feels like your world is shrinking. A network of people who believe in you can help you stay grounded, focused, and determined, even when you're facing setbacks. In the end, setbacks are not signs to stop. They are signs to dig deeper, to grow, to adapt, and to move forward with even more determination. The path to success is rarely a straight line, and every obstacle faced along the way serves to refine and shape you into the person you need to become. Embrace setbacks as part of the journey, knowing that each challenge is preparing you for a greater victory. It's not the absence of setbacks that leads to success. It's the ability to rise each time you fall, stronger, wiser, and more resolved to continue the pursuit of your dreams. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the foundation upon which all success is built and the source from which all obstacles are overcome. Everything that you create, achieve, or experience begins as a thought. The way you think directly influences how you feel, how you act, and ultimately what you experience in life. What you focus on, what you believe to be true, what you repeatedly think about, these are the very things that shape your reality. Your mind, when properly directed, can become an unstoppable force, creating the life you desire. However, without the right mindset, you risk creating a life based on fear, limitation, and doubt, rather than possibility, growth, and success. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are seeds that, when nurtured, grow into beliefs. These beliefs shape your perceptions, which in turn guide your actions. Every action you take is the result of the way you think about yourself and the world around you. If you believe that success is out of reach, that opportunities are scarce, or that you're incapable of achieving your goals, your actions will reflect that belief. You'll hold back, doubt yourself, and settle for less. But if you believe that success is possible, that opportunities are abundant, and that you have the ability to overcome any challenge, your actions will reflect that belief as well. You will take risks, step out of your comfort zone, and persist in the face of adversity. This is why your mindset is the foundation of everything you achieve. It determines how high you reach and how far you go. When you change the way you think, you change your life. And yet, despite this profound truth, so many people allow their minds to be dominated by negative, limiting beliefs. They accept thoughts of inadequacy, fear, and self-doubt as truth, allowing them to control their behavior and shape their experiences. These negative thought patterns can keep you stuck in a cycle of mediocrity and frustration. They limit your potential and prevent you from fully realizing your capabilities. The power of your mind is magnified by the focus you give it. What you focus on expands. If you constantly think about problems, obstacles, and what could go wrong, your mind will find evidence of those things. You will begin to see problems everywhere, and your actions will be shaped by that mindset. On the other hand, if you focus on solutions, opportunities, and what could go right, your mind will begin to find ways to make those things happen. Will help you recognize possibilities that were previously hidden, and you will start to take the actions necessary to create the success you desire. Focus is a powerful tool. It acts like a magnifying glass that directs the full intensity of your energy toward a single point. When you focus on a goal, on the positive aspects of your life, or on solutions to your challenges, your mind works in alignment with those thoughts. It begins to filter out distractions, eliminate negative thinking, and create a mental environment where your goals can thrive. In the same way that focusing sunlight with a magnifying glass can start a fire, focusing your mental energy on your dreams can ignite the action necessary to achieve them. But this kind of focus requires discipline. It requires an ongoing effort to choose your thoughts, deliberar. easily and intentionally. The mind can easily become cluttered with worries, doubts, and negative influences from the outside world. If you are not intentional about what you focus on, these distractions will fill your mind and steer you off course. This is why mental discipline is crucial to success. You must actively train your mind to focus on what matters, to direct your energy toward what you want to create, and to protect your thoughts from negative. The strength of your mind also lies in its ability to adapt and grow. A growth mindset, the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning, is a key element of success. Those with a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities to learn, mistakes as stepping stones to improvement, and setbacks as temporary conditions. They embrace the process of growth and are not discouraged by obstacles. On the other hand, a fixed mindset, believing that your abilities are limited and unchangeable, creates a mental barrier to progress. Those with a fixed mindset are less likely to take risks, to challenge themselves, or to persist in the face of difficulties. They become discouraged easily and often give up before they have a chance to succeed. In contrast, those with a growth mindset understand that success is not defined by innate talent, but by effort, perseverance, and learning. They believe that their potential is limitless and that every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. This mindset opens the door to unlimited possibilities, as it allows you to see challenges not as obstacles, but as chances to develop new skills and grow in new ways. When you cultivate a growth mindset, you empower yourself to reach new heights and achieve goals that once seemed impossible. One of the most powerful aspects of the mind is its ability to visualize. Visualization is a technique used by many successful people to turn their dreams into reality. When you vividly imagine yourself achieving your goals, your mind begins to work in alignment with that vision. It starts to create pathways for you to follow, solutions to your challenges, and ideas for how to make your dreams a reality. Your brain cannot distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real experiences. As a result, when you visualize success, you reinforce the belief that success is possible and train your mind to act as if it is already happening. Visualization works because it focuses your energy on the end result. It helps you mentally rehearse success, which builds confidence and reduces fear. The more clearly you can visualize your success, the more likely you are to take the necessary actions to bring it to life. When you can see your future success in your mind's eye, it becomes a tangible reality, and your mind starts to work toward it, guiding you toward opportunities, strategies, and decisions that will help you achieve that vision. Your thoughts also influence your emotions, which in turn influence your actions. When you think positively, you create a positive emotional state. You feel confident, motivated, and inspired. On the other hand, negative thoughts create negative emotions. You may feel fearful, anxious, or discouraged. These emotions then affect your behavior. Positive emotions lead to positive actions. Didatio. That propel you toward your goals. Negative emotions, on the other hand, lead to hesitation, inaction, and self-sabotage. That's why it's crucial to manage your thoughts effectively. The better you can control your thoughts, the more positive your emotional state will be, and the more likely you are to take the actions necessary to achieve success. At the core of all this is one undeniable truth. Your mind creates your reality. The way you think shapes your experiences. If you believe that success is possible, you will find a way to make it happen. If you believe that you are capable, you will take the steps necessary to reach your goals. If you believe that obstacles are merely temporary, you will persist in the face of adversity. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are the blueprint for your life. They direct your actions, shape your experiences, and create the reality in which you live. So take charge of your mind. Choose your thoughts with intention and clarity. Focus on what you want to create and visualize the success you desire. Cultivate a growth mindset and embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. By doing so, you will unlock the immense power of your mind and you will be well on your way to creating the life you've always dreamed of.